Welcome to Business in Japan Television. Employers want their workers to feel connected, not merely for the paycheck, but for the value they can offer and gain from being part of an organization. Managers want their employees to feel engaged, even emotionally bound to the workplace. But how do you improve employee engagement? Well, answering that question and others for us is Dr. Greg Story, President.
Is the interaction with the managers and the communication points. And if these things are working well, so the manager's communication style, the manager's ability to engage with that person becomes critical. Now, are people in companies trained to do that? Or is it, giving orders, taking down names, counting the results? If you want to get engagement, that harsh approach will get you a certain degree of compliance, but it won't get you engagement. So we need to interact with our people from a different perspective. The second thing the research showed is the company leadership have to be setting goals and direction that are clear to the employees that they feel some ownership of, as opposed to just total top-down. People want to have the sense that my opinion has been filtered into the system somewhere, that I have some ownership of where we're going with this. Even if it's just the execution piece, if it's not even the direction piece, but I need to feel some ownership here. That leads to engagement.
So Greg, it sounds like you're saying to me that it's critical for managers to set the tone for employee engagement.
Oh, absolutely. You have the total control over what's going to happen with the relationship with that person and their motivation for the organization. What does that mean, though? How is your communication style? How are you engaging that person? How much do you know about that person? What's going on in their life outside of work that could be impacting on the work? What are their aspirations? What is the key motivator for them to even be there? When it's a top-down, I give out the orders, you do it, quick, smart type of approach, there's no engagement around their needs. So if we want to actually find out where the engagement source is, it'll always link straight back into the motivators for that person. But if you don't know that person, if you haven't taken the time to speak with that person, engage with that person at that level, you won't know what is important.
So isn't a higher salary just the answer to getting employees more engaged, Greg?
Mike, I wish it was that simple. Just pay them all more and total motivation. How much money have you got? Yeah. What do you want to spend on the team? Right. And even money by itself isn't enough because plenty of highly paid people are still not really giving all they could possibly give to the organisation because they don't like their supervisor, or they don't like the culture in the company, or they don't feel that besides their remuneration part, they're being sufficiently engaged about their ideas for the organisation. They're not really contributing as much as they think they can contribute. They're not being asked enough. So money is, yes, one very important point. And if you've got truckloads of money and you want to throw it at everybody, good luck with that one. But I don't think you need to do that. I think you can pay people appropriate remuneration or appropriate salaries, but by adding in that interaction with the person, engaging them around how can they be a partner, a builder, a constructor of this business, you'll get a lot more than just money.
So Greg, just to wrap up the interview, can you give us some key strategies, some key tips for fostering better employee engagement?
Well, first of all, I'd say engage your managers to think about this issue from the caring manager perspective. If my employees, and the research shows it, want a caring manager, what does that look like? And how would my behaviour reflect that? And how would my communication reflect that for a start? Secondly, look at how the organisation can bring together the immense pool of talent, knowledge, experience, insight that you have within your team and get them to bring it out for you as part of the direction of either the construction of the strategy or the execution of the strategy. And finally, look at developing pride. And pride of ownership is a critical thing in we buy a house or you rent a house, the feeling is different. If you can get that pride in the company because they feel they're part of it, working for you, then the commitment level just goes right through the roof. And you get very strong results as a result of that, much more easily and much faster.
Greg, thanks very much for coming in.
Yeah, great pleasure. Thank you, Mike.
That's Dr. Greg Story, president of Dale Carnegie Japan. Thanks for watching Business in Japan Television.